Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to QNAP live broadcast from our headquarters here in New Taipei. I'm Rezon, and today here with us is our senior product manager David and our product manager Jasper, and we are going to talk actually about a really interesting topic where we are going to introduce you the new product that we have for today. So to announce the topic for today, we go and see that we are going to talk about the new release NAS, the TDS 16489U R2. It has just launched, is new, and I invite you all to check our video and see what we have to present for this NAS today. So to furthermore, we will be talking about this NAS, that it has features with dual processors, and it provides the two systems for dual systems with the QTS and QES integration for computing and storage. Furthermore, into more details, we will explain in these 5 steps how to better understand our product. First, we're going to talk about the product features, and second will be the network expansion for the TDS 16489U R2, and we will see the operating system, the QES, and QES data protection and data migration. So we will see into more details now from our senior product manager.
Okay, sure. I think if you're familiar with QNAP products, and we have launched a TDS NAS series, I think around maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And actually, we have got a lot of positive feedback. Just like you can see the feedback here, IT Pro, they think it's a great product because in a system, in a NAS, the same hardware you can choose. QNAP offers QTS operating system and also QES, that is an enterprise level operating system, and for free. They think it's impressive. And another review is from I think that is in NAS Compares. I think many professionals, they know ZFS file system is the best file system for the storage. It has a lot of powerful function. So for the TDS 1885U, equipped with the Xeon processor, and can choose to install QES. QES is based on the ZFS file system. So actually, we got a lot of feedback and positive feedback from the customers and the reviewers. And I think for the QES, it's based on FreeBSD and ZFS. It offers a lot of very powerful functions for your data and management, everything. Just like data deduplication, inline compression, and snapshot. But normally with this kind of powerful function, it consumes more resources, just like CPU resources or memory, because you need to calculate a lot of things with those functions. So we're going to give our customers this 16489U R2. R2 stands for dual processor and of course the dual system. We launched the 16489U before, but you can only install QTS. With this R2 version, you are able to install QTS and QES. And just like the 16489U before, it equipped with the Intel Xeon E5 processor, dual, 2 processors in a NAS, and also a lot of memory slots, maximum up to 1 terabyte memory. And this is the front view. 3U 16-bay, and please be aware, if you are going to install the QES operating system, the yellow 4 bays are for the QES system drives.
Oh, I see. So that's where it will go there.
Yes. And of course, you can have another choice for the QES system drive. There are extra 4 2.5-inch SSD slots at the rail side, so you can also choose to install QES system in those 4 SSD slots. So this is the real view of the 16489U R2. We have 4 2.5 SSD slot and 4 10 gigabit SFP plus port, and IPMI management port that includes the network, VGA, and COM port. and 4 USB 3.0 port, 2 gigabit port, and 4 PCIe slots. Of course, we offer customers redundant power supply. Okay, this is the system block diagram. You can see there are two red blocks over there. That is two CPU, CPU 0 and CPU 1. And at the front side, the hard drive all comes from 3 SAS 12 gig controller. So the 16489U supports both SATA and SAS hard drives.
Okay.
So no matter you are using the SAS 12 gig, SAS 6 gig, or SATA 6 gig, it's all acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are many PCIe slots. One comes from the CPU 0, and 3 PCIe slots comes from the CPU 1. And of course, we have 4 10 gig ports, IPMI, and the 2 gigabit Ethernet ports. Okay, so please be aware, all the SAS controllers are connected to the CPU 0. So that means the data communication will directly to the CPU. That would be faster. So
okay.
No need to go to the PCH and go to the other way. So that means you are going to have higher I/O bandwidth for those SAS drives. Okay, we talk about there are 16 DIMM slots, right?
Yeah.
And it's the system supports 4 channel. So that means installing memory in multiple of 4 that take the advantage of 4 channels. So in this slide, it's quite important for our customers. For example, you want to install 8 modules, but we have 16 slots there, right?
Yeah.
We will suggest this kind of installation. For example, if you want to install 8 memory in the system, so in CPU 0, install the DIMM in A0, B0, C0, and D0.
Okay.
Another 4 DIMMs install to the CPU 1. Okay, so don't install 8 modules in the same CPU or in other slot.
Separate it into, like, if we can leave, for example, for the 8 module, we can leave the 4 for the P0.
4 for each
4.
CPU, and install them in the slot I mentioned here, because different color means different channel. Different channel. Yes. So please be aware about this part. Okay, this is the architecture of the whole system.
Yeah.
So in the same hardware, we support customers to install either QTS or QES. So you cannot install 2 at the same time, okay?
Yeah.
So you can choose only one. So if you install QTS, that means you are going to have the basic storage manager, all the function like ISRC, NFS, FTP, and you are going also have the applications in the NAS. But for the QES, it is dedicated for the storage. So it has a lot of professional storage functions in the QES operating system, but there is no app center or virtualization station, this kind of application in the QES operating system. So in next slide, we're going to tell you how to install QES or QTS. So by default, when you get the NAS, in the quick setup guide, we will, if you just click next, you will install QES.
Okay.
If you want to, yes, by default. If you want to switch to the QTS, there is an icon at the
on the lower part there.
Yes, left lower corner.
Yeah.
Switch to QTS. Just click this icon, and the NAS is going to reboot to the QTS setup wizard.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So you can just choose to install QES or QTS, but you cannot install 2 operating systems at the same time. Okay. And please be aware, when you switch or when you switch between the 2 operating systems, all the data will be deleted, erased in the NAS, because they use different file systems. So we need to repartition and reconfigure all your hard drives and volumes. So please be aware of this part. Or you have to back up all your data before you switch between these two operating systems. Okay, since we can install QTS or QES, and I'm going to give you an when is the good timing for you to install QES, and when is the good timing for you to install QTS. Of course, you can install QES in the TDS 16489UR2, and you can use this as a NAS.
Yeah.
Just a NAS.
Yeah.
And you can leverage all the functions and build up your virtualization environment. And it is also a good solution for your ESNAS. QNAP has a ESNAS that is a dual controller. Yeah. It also has the QES operating system. And some customers, they want to back up the ESNAS data to another NAS. Before, maybe you can choose to buy two ESNAS, but the dual controller NAS is more expensive, right? So this is a cost-effective solution for our customers. It has 2 CPU up to 1 terabyte memory. That also means we can support more ESNAS to back up to the TDS 16489U at the same time by leveraging the snap sync function. Okay, and if you plan to have multiple versatile applications, like you want to have a Windows virtual machine running no matter Exchange or database or web servers, and store all the data in the NAS, we will suggest our customers to install QTS. Because QTS has very, very powerful application inside.
The application center is also
application center, container station, especially the virtualization station, and you can host a lot of virtual machines in the TDS 16489U. Okay, so QES versus QTS. If you just dedicate for the storage or the virtualization environment, I mean, you want to connect to your VMware or Hyper-V, you can choose QES. If you want to have applications or you want to have virtual machines, choose QTS. Okay. So we offer our customers 5 years warranty in the TDS 16489.
This is a global warranty.
Yes, it's a global warranty. Most of our recommend NAS models, they support support up to 3 years.
Yeah.
If you want, of course, you can extend your warranty by purchase our extended warranty service, right? So you can extend up to 5. But for this model, we just directly offer you 5 years warranty.
This is new.
Okay, this is the ordering information. Because it's Intel E5 processor, but actually E5 has a lot of SKUs, right?
Yeah.
Some supports quad core, some supports up to 8 core or 16 core. So these are the order information we want to guide our customer how to place your order or how to choose your correct NAS model. So at the front is just the model name, TDS 16489U dash S means the hard drive supports SAS. SAS interface. And the next part, A, means you can choose A, B, C, D. There are 4 options for you. Each letters corresponding to different CPUs. And the number 1, 2, 3, 4 means the memory. So let's say if you want to have a TDS 16489U with E5 2623 and the 256 gigabyte memory, you just place the order just like a TDS 16489U SC3. Okay?
C3.
Yes, right.
Yeah. So now after this we will see the network expansion for the TDS 16489U or 2.
Yeah. Actually, we offer 4 PCIe slots. You can, if you install with the QTS, we have a lot of expansion cards supported. But I would like to focus on the network expansion card for the QES, because if you are familiar with the QTS, you know QTS can do a lot of things. But this is the first time we have QES in the 16489U. So the important part for the this kind of storage purpose device is, the first one is the hard drive. We support SAS. Computing power, we have dual processor, and the next is the network, right? I think we have cooperated with the Mellnex for a long time, because Mellnex, they offer very good network solution, and especially their SmartNIC supports a lot of flow function, just like ISO, this kind of function. So we also offer our customers several network expansion options. The first one is dual port 10 gig NIC, and it supports two 10 gigabit SFP plus port, and it is also powered by the Mellnex ConnectX network controller. And for the accessory part, it supports 10 gig DAC cable, or you can also purchase QNAP optical transceiver. That is for the 10 gigabit network expansion. And I think we just launched another network solution, which is 25 gig. And it's a new network adapter, 2 SFP plus 28 ports. So be aware about the cable. So don't choose the wrong cable, okay?
SFP 28 ports.
Yes. And the next one is 40 gig. We launched this product for a long time, and it's quite popular. And because it can offer 40 gigabit speed in a single port. So it's also benefit for your TDS 16489U to gain your network bandwidth. Okay, and the last one is we are going to support fiber channel service in the QTS and QES. So in the future, we will support the fiber channel adapter, just like the Marvell and the Alto, no matter 16 gig or 32 gigabit fiber channel card. But it's not right now, because the TDS 16489U ship with the QES 2.0 right now. So we are still doing the implementation of the software part. So if you have planned to support this kind of fiber channel service in the future, no problem. Just you can purchase the NAS right now, but in the future, when you can just upgrade the operating system, no matter QTS or QES.
So after this introduction, we can talk more details about the operating system, the QES, and see what we have into more details.
We have professionals here.
Oh, we have Jasper.
I think Jasper is the professional of the QES operating system, and he's going to more detail about what QES can do and what are the benefits for our customers.
Okay, thanks for introducing me. So, as you know that this time the TDS 16489U R2 will ship with QES, and the current version is QES 2.0, but that we are going to launch QES 2.1, so users still can upgrade to the latest version.
Yeah, so they can buy actually the NAS as David said, and then update the OS later.
Sure. So QES is a multiple protocol storage system consolidating file and block-based access in a single storage platform. So user can use the file protocols such as CIFS, SAMBA, and NFS, and also use the block-based protocol like I2C. So user can access consolidated application and storage. And one advantage of QES is reducing hardware requirement. Instead of separate storage platforms like NAS for file-based storage and the RAID disk array for block-based storage, unified storage combines both small in a single device. And TDS 16489U R2 is that single hardware device that allows you to install QES. And QES, we support three configurations in one architecture. So a user can install spinning disk or all flash, and also use the hybrid configuration. So spinning disk array are ideal for capacity-hungry applications. And on the other hand, the all flash configurations are ideal for storage solutions for coupling with extremely I/O requirements. The hybrid configurations allow users to have the high capacity benefits from hard drive, but also realizing the extreme performance from SSD. So unlike other available storage systems in the market, TDS 16.89 UR2 powered by QES are license-free to support these three kinds of configurations. So user can, based on their requirements, to choose the configuration they want. We want to provide the benefit of flexibility and cost effective. And
yeah, so now after the introduction, we see the data storage. Like you explain us about the data storage in QES.
Yeah, okay. So QES is a storage-based system. All of the underlying disks like SSD and hard drive are composed of storage pool with different RAID configurations like RAID 0 or RAID 5 that you can see in this picture. And those configurations, those different RAID types of space will constitute a logically contiguous space. And since this space used by the file system is dynamically configured based upon the pool, all of the storage space can be used for like file system or block level volume.
Yeah.
So user can just configure one pool and choose file or block level volume that they want to use. And to keep costs low while also maximizing capacity, QES leverage SSD as a cache layer. So SSD will handle all of new writes and reads to the array. And SSD cache are employed to deliver extreme performance to users' most critical data. So this makes the hybrid configuration ideal for solutions that companies who want moderate to high I/O requirements, such as SQL database. And TDS 16.48 UR2 install QES can support SSD cache to enjoy a better both random read-write performance, and also can accelerate both the block and file access. And since we can install up to 1 TB RAM in this system, so we can have better or more SD cache space compared with the original like TDS system.
Right.
And if users worry about data loss in write cache, this system allows users to configure RAID 1 configuration to protect their data in write cache. And although capacity of hard drive and SSD grows a lot, the drive capacity almost doubling like every 12 to 18 months. The B rate error still remain roughly constant, so it increased the risk of saving data. And especially silent data corruption might become more common. So if users plan to deploy like hybrid or all-flash storage, and using cost-effective flash storage might just accelerate this kind of trend. So to address this kind of concern, to help users to save data more confidently and comfortably, QES uses a file system, ZFS. So this feature, hierarchical checksum, is one of the biggest features from ZFS. So these checksums are stored with a block's parent block rather than with block itself. So compared with many file systems, checksum and data are saved together. If you lose data, you also lose your checksum. There's no way for you to recover.
And then other file systems, they put the data and checksum in the same block, right?
Yeah.
So if there is bad block something happen, you will lose the data and checksum at the same time. So that means you cannot recover the data by using the checksum.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from this picture, it's easy to see that in the bottom layer of the data, if you lose it, you still can use the middle layer checksum to recover the data in the bottom layer. So that's one of the advantage of ZFS.
ZFS.
And the second one is copy and write. So copy and write is a technology which you can make a copy of data block that is just going to be modified rather than modify the data block directly. Yeah. So for any data to be written, whether it's a new data or an existing data modification, so ZFS always find a new space to write the data and modify the file system configuration. So this kind of way also allows RAID to avoid any occurrence of write hole like RAID 5 and greatly improve safety against abnormalities such as power outage. And the last thing about ZFS is self-healing. So for, ZFS natively provides silent self-healing of data inconsistency. And data can be reconstructed using all of the following ways like mirror or RAID. In these examples, the application issues a read request, but the ZFS RAID detects a block and incorrect data on disk, the RAID 1. So the next step, the ZFS RAID file will calculate the correct data based on maybe the parity and other data saved in different disks. And then move to the next step. The ZFS RAID file will recover this data and also return the correct data to application.
Okay.
So user will not feel any error detected by ZFS. We just automatically recover and return the right answer to the application.
It's really a cool function.
Yeah. So now we will talk more about data protection in the QES.
Yeah.
So can you explain to us what is the data protection here?
Sure. So the first one I'm going to talk about is snapshot. So the snapshot in QES support both block level and file level protection. User can take snapshot to protect both kinds of data. And because QES snapshot is a differential copy of file system or volume, and due to the characteristic of copy and write, snapshot can be created almost instantly and consume no additional disk space within the pool. So user can create up to like 455,000.
65,000 over, I think,
Yeah.
over 65,000. It's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Big number.
And as I mentioned that ZFS has copy and write, and thanks to this kind of characteristics, when snapshot is first created, only metadata about the original data is stored, and no physical copy of the data is done at the time the snapshot is created. So it's very space efficient snapshot technology.
Yeah.
And combining with several codes, space-saving technology like deduplication, compression, simple provisioning, snapshot, copy and write snapshot, and fast clone, QES makes it possible like maybe 342U traditional record can turn into just maybe 3 TDS distance. So user only not save their data, but save it reliably and efficiently.
Yeah, I think this is also a good function. Just like what I mentioned, you can use the TDS 16489U as a backup server for your ES.
Yeah.
And especially it can be, by leveraging this kind of technology, you can have multiple ESNAS back up to one TDS 16489U.
And the next one I'm going to talk about is write once and read many. So because there are many organizations concerned their security of data. So we want to provide this feature to help them protect important information like photo, contracts, financial reports, email, employee information. And once those data saved in this one folder, they cannot be modified anymore. during the period they set up. So user only can add more data or new data to this folder, but they cannot delete or modify. And this way ensure all of data self-integrated in this folder in their system.
Okay. So now, would you please explain to us about data migration and how would this process be executed?
Okay, so one of the most important feature about data migration QoS is SnapSync. So SnapSync allows users to copy their data from a local storage to a remote storage.
Okay.
And they can copy data, both block data and also data saved in folders. A user can choose either synchronous mode or asynchronous mode. So if any disasters happen in the local storage, user can recover the service user remote storage based on the SnapSync technology. And if user want to use their application with VMware, VMware natively support SRM to help users to back their virtual machine to a remote site.
Okay.
And allow users to recover if things happen in the local site. But it consumes a lot of service resource. And we hope user can just focus those service resources on application service. So we integrate SRM with our SnapSync. If user want to copy those virtual machine to a remote site, they can leverage SnapSync. All of the copy job are done by our QES NAS. So user can just let their server to run the application they want, and let our NAS to do the backup job.
This is very useful for enterprises.
Yeah, sure. And the last thing I want to emphasize is that QES NAS, of course, even TDS, this system, is a virtualization-ready system. We support 3 kinds of virtualization technology, including VMware vSphere, Microsoft Hyper-V, and Citrix Xen servers. And we also integrate some hardware offload certification like VAI in vSphere or ODX in Microsoft. And we also want to user to manage our system easily, so we integrate some plugin into their management system. So users don't need to switch between different GUI to configure or manage a system. They can just use one GUI and manage their server as well as their NAS.
Just like you can create iSCSI LAN in the VMware vSphere.
Yeah.
You don't have to log into the QNAP NAS, create iSCSI LAN, and go back to the VMware vSphere.
Yeah.
So to round it up, to sum it up, the TDS 16489U R2, as we were talking from the beginning, we introduced the hardware specifications, and that this new NAS is a dual processor,
Yes.
and supports both QTS and QES as operating systems, and it has many features. You can also has the ports from the rear view and from the front view that we have the displacements. So we also talked about the NAS, how it can be useful, how it can be actually utilized by using for enterprise level.
Yes.
In the QES.
Yes.
In talking, say, as you Jasper explained on data migration, virtual machine, virtualization, and so on. So this is the TDS 16489U, and it's a new choice. It's your best choice, it says, for the QNAP. And we go back to live. So I want to thank you guys, our senior product manager David and product manager Jasper, for being here with us and giving all these details in the new NAS. And if you want to see this video and any other videos like this, please visit our website live.qnap.com or visit our YouTube page by subscribing there, and our Facebook page as well. So thank you for being with us, and I'll see you next time on QNAP Live Broadcast. Bye.
Bye.